Hello everyone, welcome to our Laravel REST API development tutorial. In this tutorial, we're going to add product show, edit and delete APIs. So let's start. As we have used API resource, so we don't have to tension for other methods, as it will work as Laravel works with CRUD API, CRUD functionalities. So let's add the show for now. Let's copy this product get URL, and for this is a get URL. This is perfect, and it would be API/products and then it would be ID. And look, for now we're giving like dynamic things, right? And we have to pass the ID as parameters, but for now we don't need those other parameters for here. We need one parameter is ID. It should not be in query, like it should not be like products and then what ID equal to. It should not be like this, right? But it should be like in the path. So it would be like instead of query we should write path. Okay, so let's change also this product ID. Definitely it should be required. Explode is not necessary, and for the schema, and let's edit integer and pass a value. But I think it doesn't necessary to pass a default value for this, and for this only 404. Actually we can get 404 exceptions, so let's handle that, like product not found. And okay, for this ID, and we should also call our repository pattern repository here, like this product repository and then get by ID. So just call it this product repository get by ID, and yeah, and accept like int, and it would be a JSON response. And for here, like as it's not necessary to give some more data like here, so keep it like product fetched successfully, perfect. And one thing we have to change, like this operation ID would be show description, and these things also needs to be changed, get product detail. Okay, so perfect. So let's see if it works or not. Doesn't work. Maybe there is an error here. It should not be the additional comma. Let's try again. It's not possible to get the error without getting the message. Go to storage logs and check the logs from here. Clear it first, then hit enter again, and we can see get the error. Operation ID must be unique. Duplicate value found show. Okay, we have passed duplicate value show for products, but wow, how is it become duplicate? It's not possible. So if we get some documentations of Swagger PHP and other parts, we can see that if we give this operation ID, then we must have to give this unique to across all of the operations. That means we can give like get product by ID. We can give like that, but if we give like that, then every time we need to invent some of the different method, because we are using Laravel, we are using this normal CRUD methods, so it would not cope up with that, because there is some on some other module we have some show methods. Again we will use this. So what's the solution for this situation? We just ignore this. We just remove the operation ID here, because it's not necessary. We just remove this, as it could be useful if we use a different method for different controller. Every method is different, but we are not doing that. We are writing same pattern. I think that's also good, so we don't have to invent name for every time. So let's reload it and let's see. Yeah, perfect, it's working perfectly fine. And if we click on this, and then one thing, let's see, let's look at this URL bar. If we go to this Swagger documentation, reload it. Okay, look, now everything is not everything is collapsed. And if we click here, look, there is products, right? And if you just click one URL, and it will be automatically assign an ID, so you don't have to manually give this operation ID. It's not necessary. That's perfect. And then if we just click on give an ID like 6 and hit enter, and we have got the data. Perfect. But if we get an ID of like 90, which is doesn't exist, and if we give this, we still getting 200. But I think this is not good. We should handle that. But like, if we don't have this ID, we should not give someone 200 response. It's not good, right? And also status is true. It's not good, right? We should not give someone like that. So if we go to our get by ID, if we go here, product find, and so first we can find the product. So if it's empty, then just throw an exception like product equal to product, if empty product, or if product then return, or but if empty then just throw an exception. Throw exception like for we can import this exception, import it in here, take it at top, import this exception, and we will say like product does not found. Okay, and there will be like 404 response. For response, we will actually use this illuminate HTTP. Yes, this, and look, it's imported. And then if we use write not found, HTTP not found, yeah, that's like 404 status code. So products does not exist. It's kind of better, and if everything works, and then return product. Finally we'll just return product. But now if product doesn't exist, we'll give him a valid error message that product doesn't exist. And let's see by running it again. Product does not exist, status false, and we're getting also 200, but it's not correct. So let's see, if we go to product controller, this response text, yeah, mainly we're returning it from here, but let's create it in here, product equal to this. So if something's broken, then it would create an error, create an exception, it would come here. So it would go in this place. Yeah, it's still stemmed. That means we have make something mistake for this response error. For this response error, we have to give some additional code from here. Yeah, what we have missed, look, if we click on JSON, you can get like data, status, all of the other things, right? So if we see for this method, this first parameter is the data, so actually what we have passed, and the second parameter is the status code. Like for response success, we'll send status code 200, like response. By default it's actually 200, so like we don't need to pass status okay, status like HTTP okay. HTTP okay means 200. We don't need to pass this response normally, but let's keep this consistency. And for here response not HTTP okay. So actually for this response error, we'll get the response code from the server, right? That means we'll get the response code. Okay, so like int response code. Okay, so normally let's assume the response code is like HTTP 404, like invalid. Sorry, HTTP 400, like, sorry, it's not like HTTP, it would be response, and it should be invalid. Maybe there is another response like invalid. HTTP internal server error. Let's pass, by default let's pass this, and instead of manually doing this, let's just add this from response code. And also make the documentation, update the documentation here, and it would be response code. Yep. And if we now go here in the product controller and in the third parameter, so in here we'll get the response code. So get code, from get code we'll get the code, but I would prefer like writing exception instead of just it's not good, so writing exception is far better. So same for this. So let's see if we can get a 404 exception error here if the product doesn't. Wow, perfect, like error not found. That's it, that's what we want. We're giving a 404 response and also with status false, product does not exist. Perfect, it's really how the API should go. And also let's add all in our every API is this exception, so that it would be consistent. Exception get code. Yep. And it should also be exception. Yeah, it's now perfect. Let's just copy these and paste in our code bases. Exception exception. Yep. So it should work now. And if we got any error from our repository, we should get this in our controller. So what our controller will do, it will actually call the repository and it will either return data or it will just create an exception, right? So this is how it will work. And for sure what we have done previously, I think it's not necessary, like it's not necessary to create a separate variable for this, because it's unnecessary, a wastage of memory. So I think this is okay. Let's just check it. We can also do similar things with our authorization APIs, but for now I'm skipping this. You can do it, and that's perfect. And let's add the update APIs. So for update, we'll just copy the store method, copy this method, and instead of this we'll just use this update, but let's change this, instead of post let's change this to put. And also the products and would be an ID definitely. And also how we will get the parameter, we'll get the parameter like so, as we are passing the ID here. And let's add it here, and perfect. And for now we have the ID here, and also the other data would be same as this, right? Perfect. And required also title and price. And for edit mode we definitely make required the slug shouldn't be undefined for edit mode. It's not good practice. And so if this is required, and rest of the things is doesn't any problem. Let's just copy also the create try catch block, copy this, and say edit in edit, paste it in here. Actually we have used repository pattern, that's why our codes become simpler, right? So let's create a method update. So currently the product repository that doesn't has that update method. For update, for what we have passed, we'll pass the ID, and definitely it would be integer, int of ID. We'll pass the ID and we'll pass the data, and finally if everything works we'll set product updated successfully. Perfect. But let's create the update route, right? So go to the product repository, and definitely for now we don't have this in our CRUD interface. In our CRUD interface we have to create that, right? So let's create it in here. Like it's like update, and it's first getting an integer of ID, and then it's getting the data, and it's perfect. Let's also create one for delete, because we want to make that also in this tutorial. So delete, and we don't need to pass the data here, and we can pass this go to product repository. So now we have to add two new methods. So copy this create, paste it in here, paste it in here. So it would be update and it would be delete. Perfect. So for update, it's like, look, data type doesn't match. First would be integer of ID, and for this it would only the integer of ID, right? Perfect. Look, everything's now matched. And for update also, we'll also do the same things like prepare for DB, but instead of like creating, we'll just update. Okay, so for now, let's find the product. So like product equal to this get by ID of ID. Okay, so if something's wrong in this product, then it would definitely doesn't come at the bottom. It will throw an exception. It will go to controller and handle the exception like that. So we don't need to handle that exception in here, right? If we call this, if there is exception, it would go automatically throws the exception. So we don't need to handle those exception in this case here. So product, and after that we need to update it like so, product and product update, and then data here. That's perfect. And I think it's not necessary to keep this in another variable cause it's unnecessary. So product update, and that's it. And also after update, let's see how it works, and let's see what update is return type. Update return type is actually boolean, right? It would return if it's updated or not. So what we will do, we'll create a method updated equal to like this, and if updated, then we'll just return the correct latest product. Like we'll fetch the product again and return it if the update, because we need to send the updated product, right? And otherwise no problem, just return this. And definitely can actually return here, or just update this product variable to return, and then finally just return once, return product. Okay, so first get the product, update the product, and after updating we'll return the updated product. So that's it. And also same would be for delete. So just copy this for now, but instead of this it would be delete. So we don't need to pass this data here, we can just call product delete. And definitely it's in delete method, it would return boolean null based on the data, like it would be deleted. Instead, if it is deleted, then we'll just return this product. So otherwise we can throw actually an exception for this. If deleted, if not deleted, that means something's wrong in to delete. So we can create an exception, throw new exception like product could not be deleted. So it would be response slash http server response, http internal server error. Okay, we'll just throw an exception if something's problem, and otherwise it's okay. Otherwise return the product. Perfect, we have finished this. And our prepare for DB method is actually responsible to many things like generating slug, generating image, generating other things. It's responsible, so we don't need to modify these thing for now. Okay, But if we go to product controller, we are seeing that we are using the same request. So what we should do actually, we should actually create new request for our product update, right? So basically it would be kind of different, right? So like for this we will mandatory the slug product update request, so this slug is required right now. And other things is this also this unique products, it should not be look like that. We have to change this also for edit. So let's change this. It would be like products and check the id and dot of this of id. Hope so it would work like that. To check unique product, sorry, it would be like it would check for slug, and for this product, for this id, it would not check for this. Let's check this. Take this, go to product controller, instead of this request let's add that request, import it, perfect. So product updated successfully. Let's see if our product routes works as it is. And also we need to change this title. It would be like update product. Okay, so update product, let's first get a product, get all the product from here. Try now, execute it. Then there is a six product 6, there is a product title. Okay, price 10, so let's change it. Product id 6, product title new, let's like added $20, 20. Okay, let's execute. So internal server error, something went wrong, title field is required, slug is required. What's this? What's not getting? Slug. So we have seen this error, like it cannot actually detect the input. If we just checking purpose, let's just get the request and just return all of the request, and then get the all of the data as array. Let's see which array we can get here. If we just reload, definitely it would not come this controller because it will stop here. But for this, let's just create it, change it to request, and let's see what's data we got here. So if we just hit enter, we got an empty array. But why? We have given the data. So the problem is, if we give multi-part form data, we cannot actually get using this input method. We have to use post. Okay, so this is an important thing. But we can also add that, like if there is no need to work with image, then it would work perfectly. Look, let's just take from this portion, like yeah, this media type application form URL and code. If we just paste it here, then it would work perfectly. So look, now if we just hit enter, and we would get the input data as array. So let's reload it. Yeah, we have got an array of data, but we cannot actually get this in multi-part form data. So either we have to change our media type to this, but as we are working with image and we want to make our Swagger consistent, for Swagger we'll make some tricky thing, like we can just keep this as multi-part form data, like control Z it, multi-part, we'll keep this as multi-part form data, and also instead of put method we'll use it post. Okay, and as we're using post, definitely we have to pass in additional parameter, we have to pass this method, like underscore method, so that it will override things, and it would be in query, and let like a method request method, and definitely it would be string, and default value would be equal to like put method, right? So by default we are actually telling a Swagger that it's a post method, but it's not actually, and and then after that we have updated that this is actually a put method. So you have to do this trick if you want to work with image actually. But if you don't need to work with image, then I think it's not a problem. You don't need to write this media type, or I think it's I would recommend you would use application slash JSON if you don't work with image. That's actually far better than this. Okay, so next thing is, let's just see if it works now. Let's just reload it. So look, we have no put method right now for this, but this post method is actually the put method. So if we go to this ID, give it an ID 5, and then still it's multiple from data, and if we just hit enter, so if we get this data, yeah, we have got this data like slug already been taken, but it's actually working perfectly. Like it's it creates the problem here, but don't worry, let's make the slug unique so that it's come here, execute. Yep, we have got this data perfectly. It's fine. Awesome. Okay, so we have got this, and after that what we can do, we can unset the method, but it's not necessary. Let's just do what you do. And one thing, we need to change this, go to product update request. There is some error, like it would be after slug there, then could be a comma. Actually we have missed it. No problem. Okay, let's see our update works or not. So just instead of this return, we have removed this return, and then just execute it to giving some updated value. So give like product title updated, new column, product price 20, for the product ID 5, maybe 5 doesn't exist, let's keep for product ID 6, and execute it. Product updated successfully. Perfect, it works perfectly. So product updated successfully, and also look, after getting updated, we have get the updated title, slug, price, and everything's perfect. So these things works perfectly, but one thing we have to change. Like if we go to our update method, if we go to prepare for DB, what if for like if someone gives an image and it's for edit mode, what we should do? So definitely if someone come here prepare for DB, we have to detect if it's for edit mode or it's for normal mode, right? So what do we need to do? So if whenever we call this, so let's create it like boolean like is edit. So is edit, normally is edit would be false, normally it's for create. Okay, so if is edit, so if is edit, then we have to pass this from this prepared DB method like it's true. So it's is edit. Now for update it's like true. So if is edit true, then we need to do one more thing, like we need to delete the previous image. Like come here, like first delete the previous image, like stay here, delete the previous image. Or one thing, like we need to get the data also, like we need to get the previous image name for to delete the image, right? So what we should do that, we instead of passing a boolean, rather we can pass also actually the object, this product object, then it would be easier for all. Like let's pass the product object. Okay, and definitely in here we should keep this, it would be product, and definitely it would be optional like product equal null. So it would be null for normal create mode. So if this is not null, if not is null, not is null product, if product is not null, that means it's for edit mode, so delete previous image. And definitely if the image exists, then we would delete, otherwise we don't delete that, right? So for this, let's create a method like upload image, then we can create a method for delete image, right? So that we can create, just duplicate this, name it delete image. And for delete image, first we have to check if the image exists. So how we can check if the image exists? So if not empty of image, if image not empty and then storage exist, and then storage exists, and pass the image name. Image, let's create it like image name, it would be more better. So that's it. So and for here it would be definitely a string, and so delete image, it would be a void, just we don't need to do anything for if it is not an image or other stuff. If not empty and exists, then we would delete the storage data, like just copy this and just instead of exist, just delete this image. Okay, that's it. So, and it's void type, so don't worry about this. So call this in here like delete previous image, so call it in here like this, delete image, and pass the product of image, right? So in product we have the image, so pass it here, product of image. So I think this would be perfect. Okay, that's perfect. And also for our delete functionalities, we should also delete the image also, right? So that means if like this delete image here also, like this delete, so before deleting that, first delete the image if it has image, so product of image. Okay, delete image first, delete the image, and then delete the product. So that's it, perfect. Okay, so let's finally test the add the delete route, so that our stuff could be finished and we then finally check for all. And for delete, let's just copy this show route, because it's all actually the same. Remove this, paste this, instead of get, write delete. Okay, and product, instead of get product detail, write delete product. So it should be in path, it's perfect. And security bearer, it's perfect also. And for destroy, let's write int, and definitely copy this try catch, paste it in here. And instead of request all, we don't need to pass this request all here, we'll just pass this delete product, deleted successfully, and other things should work as it is. So let's try delete first also, then we will try our image deletion works or not. Okay, so we have got the new product here. So let's write click on this here, write product ID 5, execute it, so that product ID 5 would be deleted. And in the meantime, let's also like add this response, like JSON response here, JSON response at delete. And also one thing I have missed actually in our API form request, I have not passed the in the response, if something response, I have not passed the things like the proper status code, like invalid input, invalid from request, and then also pass like response of invalid. So import this response, response HTTP, then it would be in. Let's see if there is any invalid internal server error. Let's see. Actually HTTP bad request, which is actually responsible for 400. Like, save it. So in here we have got an error in delete image. Argument 1 must be a type of string, null given. We have checked this from laravel.log, and okay, so let's update that. Definitely that should be nullable. We should do that. Like, some of the delete image, it should be nullable, as the image name could be nullable, so it could be like this. Okay, so now I think it should work, and let's just hit execute again. So let's try again. Product ID 5, hit execute. Yep, product deleted successfully. And if we just hit again this 5, so what it should do, it should actually should not work, because it should create an exception. Yeah, it's like 404, perfect. Like, product does not exist. Awesome, so it's perfect. And if we just also go to other routes, like go to show, it would give us the same error. And let's see, and let's final test. Let's add one product, edit product and delete product, and let's see if image as delete properly or not. So let's make our final test. So product title final, and product slug final, also price 1000, and add an image for it. Logos, so let's add same image. Would we get another timestamp? Product created successfully, its ID is 10. So let's get the detailed product by ID 10. We have got the ID 10, but let's get it's a wrong ID. So what it would show, we would getting 404, product not found. Perfect. So, and by 10 it's working perfectly. And let's edit that product, as let's see the image uploaded properly or not. If we go to storage slash app slash public, and maybe this is 2729, that means it's the latest, right? So 998, let's remember 98. And now let's update this and add another image. Let's see if this 98 deleted perfectly or not. So it's also the update product here, ID 10, product title updated, and product title updated, also 200 is, and also add, let's add another image, so that it's like we can check different thing. Okay, hit execute. So product updated successfully. It's like ID, title, slug, user ID, image URL, perfect. And look, there is 98 is deleted, and we have got new stuff product. Let's see. So it should, so if we go to our storage, okay, so we have uploaded new image, but we don't delete the previous one. It's not good, right? That means our image deletion doesn't working properly. So if we just go there, let's see what's the problem. So, and as we don't actually we don't have the image, actually we have removed it as hidden property in our model. So let's pass the image URL. So this is actually a image URL instead of a name. It's actually an image URL. So from this image URL, just check if not empty, if like first if image not empty, then we'll come here, and then just we'll first find the image name from this URL, and then if this image name what exist, and then we'll do as it is. Okay, so just, and now we need to find by, we can use a substr or string search to get the image name from the string. Let's use a online snippet here. So it would be image URL here. Here would be image URL, here would be image URL. So what condition we'll check? We'll check like storage slash. After storage slash check, we'll get everything after storage slash. Okay, so then it should be work. It should work. So let's test again. So if we update this again, so this should be deleted. So if not empty image name and storage exist image, storage delete. Okay, let's update it by adding new image. So the slug has already been taken. Okay, so we cannot actually use the same slug here. Execute. Okay, so there is new image added, but let's see the previous image deleted or not. So let's just test outside and hope so L-trim would be perfect for this scenario. Let's just add it instead of this complicated one. I think L-trim would be better. Okay, let's try again. Let's just execute. Product updated. Still not deleting. Okay, so I've made some debugging by log Laravel default built-in log facet log debug. Let's first check the image name. So I've been checking that we have got the image name, but then I have checked that we don't get this image. It doesn't come in this if condition. Then I find that we have missed the public dot image name. So storage exists can check like this public dot. It can check then. Okay, and also for storage delete public slash delete, and now it works perfectly. We don't remove this log anymore, just delete it. Also delete this log facet. Perfect. And product updated successfully. Let's just delete this 10 number product, and then hope so our last image would be deleted, like this 20 image would be deleted. And let's just create that route. So click on execute. Okay, let's see. It's not deleted because we have passed image also here. We have to pass the image URL here. Then it should work. No problem. Okay, so we have finished our CRUD for product. And also there is one more issue is like, look, if we one time hit this and again hit this, it should be successfully updated. It should work like that, but it's saying that the slug has already been taken. Then I have just debugged, like we have used this ID, but somehow this ID is not working as it's an API. It works perfectly for web-based interface, but for API what we have to pass, actually we have to pass the ID from the request, then this slug would be work perfectly. And if we check that our ID is empty, that means we don't get any ID for this part. So what we have to do, we have to pass this ID, request ID, from our controller from Postman. So let's see. So for this validation, what we'll do, in our product controller we'll add another property for ID, so that we can get the ID from here, product ID. Okay, so it would be integer, and then perfect. So then we have got the ID, and if we go to our update request, then we can get it here like this, request of ID easily. And also let's try to debug. If we got it here, clear Laravel log, and then hit enter, reload it. So pass this product ID here from here, like pass anything, pass 9 or anything, and then no problem, just hit enter, hit execute, and let's see. And also let's check at Laravel log if we got that. Yes, perfect. So we got the ID. So now our that portion should work perfectly. So that's it for today. It's a long tutorial, but I hope so you have got many concepts from this tutorial: how to write better code, how to write an enterprise level application, In our next tutorial, we will make some seeder, make some factory for our product so that we can generate bulk product, so that we can test our application, load balancing, and many more stuffs using those. So let's wait for the tutorial. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Bye bye.